Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here today with one of my Ficus Benjamina, one that is actually growing a lot right now in growth season. You can see a lot of new growth here, a lot of new height that has been added to this tree this growth season. And I think it is time to again stunt this height a little bit and work on the different pads and the different areas on this tree by pruning it back simply a little bit. So that is what we're going to do today. Give this little guy a good prune and see then the end result of that prune, and also talking a bit about then how I will continue with this tree and what my goals for this are in the future. But as I said, I would start right away with looking at the structure of this tree and where we should start pruning. And I always tend to start rather down here at the pads and then work my way up the tree. And I think down there's actually not that much to prune back. You can see here a little growth coming a bit too close actually to the fork here, so that is definitely something I would take out. But other than that, we might only stunt the growth here a little bit, and of course also encourage the tree to ramify, so to bifurcate basically from where we cut it back. So I would simply take out the new growth that has appeared here. Here you can even see it is a bit too laggy here, so definitely makes sense to take this out. And other than that, we just keep it as this little branch here that anyway, I'm not sure yet if in the future we'll keep or not. I intended it as more of a sacrificial branch here actually, because we did take the old apex out of this tree back in, I think 2 years ago or so, and there has this new branch developed since then. Not sure we'll keep it on, but for now, I think it does add something at least to this tree. So I would keep it on for now. And we make our way up here already, where we have a more pronounced sector or pad. I wouldn't call it a full pad yet, because we have actually two separate branches here that then start to, of course, bifurcate more and more and ramify more and more. But I do like this section in general. I only fear that it's growing a bit too upwards here, so we might actually even wire this then still a little bit down here just to give it some more shape, and we might wire it actually with this other branch here. When it comes to pruning back, I don't see much need for that. Maybe here just take the tip out, and also here it's starting to get a bit long, so if we cut it back we might get some more ramification going on here as well. And here we have one that is growing a bit inwards. Let me see from different angles. Now from here it's actually not growing that much inwards, it's just filling out this area in between those two branches. So we could actually incorporate that in the future into the pad structure and the pad look of this part here. So for now we'll keep this on, but we definitely will wire this still here down a little bit. And that already brings us to the apex, and there is definitely more to work on here at the apex than at the other sectors of this tree, simply because a lot of the new growth has of course developed also up here. Quite usual for trees to put a lot of the energy of course in gaining height and in growing upwards, so that is to be expected. But it did start to be a bit crowded here, and we do need to see how we keep this manageable and what we should take out and what we should incorporate in the overall style of this tree. And I think I would actually turn it around to this side, because it gives us a better view on what has been happening. And we can see two competing leaders here definitely. And I do like, actually we have three competing leaders here. And I would stick with this one, and actually in the future this could become a little side branch or something. So let me just stunt the growth here right away. And then here again we have it ramify, and then we need to decide on how we continue here. So we'll also cut this one back right away. We have also a potential side branch here that I would also shorten for now. We might even take this out completely because it's very close to the trunk here. But as we're speaking here of the apex, I think for now it is good to keep it on. And up here, the question is, how far do we take this back? A lot of new growth has happened here. It already starts to get woody actually. So we sooner or later have to decide what we do with this. We're definitely going to shorten it. I'm just not sure yet how far back we're going to take it, because we do have this little side branch already starting to appear here. So minimum is definitely taking it back to here. And if we look at it, I think that already brings it down to a good height again. A neat height, all quite nicely fitting here. And then we can look a bit more into the details. Here we have a side branch starting to appear. I would leave this on right now. It is still completely green, so we will simply see how this develops in the rest of the growth season this year. Giving it again a look from the back here, which anyway needs to be more rotated again towards the sun, because I do consider this more actually the front of the tree than this, even though with this tree it's quite difficult to see, because from both sides you can see the nice aerial root here. So I'm actually fine with both sides being a viable front of this tree. But of course, just rotating gives us a good sense of where else we would need to take action here. I think actually I'm not too happy with this part. I take it back. I'm not happy with this. We will take it out. It was quite laggy anyway, because it was growing underneath all of this other foliage here. So it didn't really receive enough sunlight to develop nicely anyway. But other than that, I think for pruning we are done. I'm just gonna grab some wire and then we do the wiring of these little side branches here as well, bringing them down a little bit, spreading them out, and of course also again going for more of a triangular shape on this tree, especially if this is then growing also a little bit still in size. So I got a little piece of wire, and now let's see how we best fit this actually onto the tree. So it's gonna be here. It might actually be a bit too long, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Because first we need to see anyway how to wrap it around best here and incorporate it also in the already existing wire on this tree. So a good start is always to simply wrap it around the main trunk to get that grip that we need. We don't have that much foliage on here, so I don't want to, on this way actually we're gonna cross with the other wire. So let me go a step up here and actually do it from here. And then work our way once around here and then up on this branch. And then we simply make our way all the way to the tip of the branch. One more around here. And grab it once more here. And before we start to really bend, we will of course also do the same thing with this branch here. So luckily I can avoid most of the foliage here, so we're not trapping anything, we're not ripping anything off, which is good. And now let me give it a first bend, see if we can bring this down. We can, that's already good. And we can also bring this down here. So let me see if we might even wrap this around once more to catch all the way up here, the front also, and bring the front down. Give it a bit of movement here and spread this out. And I think that already improves the shape and the overall style of the tree a lot. It opens up the space between here, so we really have a pronounced pad now on this side as well. And a very distinct apex of the tree. So we have two nice pads that we can work on in the future. And that already brings me to talking a little bit about the plans for this tree in the future. It is all about pad development. So this one needs to, again, grow a little bit in length also here. So I would rather go a bit over the pot here actually with the length. Have a nice pad then also at this area here and at this height. Then the next one up here, we took the good first steps now already in creating a nice pad here, and then simply a pronounced apex that again, of course, we also work on the form. We have here the potential to grow this a little bit longer, also again keeping with the triangular shape of the tree, then of course thin it out a little bit here in the top. But overall, I think, let me give you a quick look of all the different areas. Even from here you can see that we opened up this area quite nicely, and we can now grow a nice bushy pad here, grow the apex. Sooner or later we will also wire this one a bit more, give it a bit more of a distinct shape. But for now, I think this is already, for the middle of growth season, a good start and something where we can probably keep this wire on now for the entire next winter, and then in spring take it off, and it should have settled nicely by then. But I will keep you updated on this tree. It is a prolific grower, so it could be that even this growth season I'd still need to give it one more time a good prune. If that's the case, of course, I will let you know. But I think for now we are done with this tree. If you have any questions concerning it, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will get to answer them as soon as I see them. Hope to see you in the next video then. Until then, take care.